Welcome to Week 9 predictions on the Nexus Fantasy Football League. Obviously, we all know the situation to do with the hurricane. I discussed that before. Like I said, to those that were affected, the Nexus Fantasy Football is here to help you. We are, like I said before, we are not only a fantasy football league, we are also a team, we are also friends, and we're all here to help you. Let's start with the first thing. Before I get into the predictions, I'd like to get into the standings. It's almost playoff time. Playoffs start week 14. We're on week 9. This season's going pretty fast. But let's get right into the standings. Right now, in these standings, we have, for the straight edge, Dirty Sanchez, the undefeated Dirty Sanchez, at 8-0 in first place. The Bound Crushers and the Trees are tied for second with 4-4. What a great fucking battle that's going to be. Coney Island's finest, you're hurting, my friend. You're really hurting with 2-6. The replacements, sadly enough, she's 1-7, will not make the playoffs this year. But she's going to learn more. Maybe next year might be her year to do it. Obviously, she came into a hole, so we still root for you, Alyssa. I still want you to get some wins, but playoffs is not really looking towards your way unless for some strange reason the shit just turns around, everybody else starts losing. That's the only way you can look to it. Try to get out of last place. That's what I would say. We're going to move on to another than the Barrett Barrage. We're going to start with, there's a three-way tie going on there. We got Lotus Flower Bomb, and she's 5-3. The Funky Comadines, they're 5-3. And Ryan Leaf's comeback, he's 5-3 too. There's a three-way tie for first place in this division is going to be interesting because right behind them is the Heffinators at 3-5 and Lay That Ass at 3-5. All members in that division have an opportunity to make the playoffs. It's just about wins and losses right now. That's all that matters. Me and Lay That Ass, we could still make the playoffs. You guys lose, we win, we switch. And right now, it's just Lotus Flower Bomb, the Funky Comadines, and Ryan Leaf's comeback going into the playoffs if this was it. But we're not done yet. So keep your wins up. That's the only way you're going to make the playoffs. And now it's time for none other than the predictions. Let's start it up really simple, straightforward. We got none other than the Heffinators going against Coney Island's finest. And you know what? I'm going to have to go with myself this week because, like I said, the Coney Island Spiders just have not been stepping up this week. And the bye weeks are really going to hurt you because I saw what you had to drop and what you had to pick up. So I'm going to have to go with myself to beat you this week. If you didn't do that trade, I would say if you didn't do that trade, you'd probably be in a playoff hunt right now. But because you did the trade, you are now probably going to be out of the playoffs unless you just, for some reason, just pick up a win and everybody else loses. And in that division, you actually would have a chance, but you got to start winning. And first, you got to go through me. Now I have none other than AJ Green on my team, so you should be shitting bricks. Moving on to the next one, we got Ryan Leaf's comeback going against the Trees. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm going with the Trees on this one. And I'm a big fan of Ryan Leaf's comeback, but the thing is, the Trees have been stepping it up lately. They've been winning. And I honestly want to see Mark in the playoffs. Obviously, Sean, I don't want to see you in the playoffs. I want to take your spot. But I think you're going to be in the playoffs. I think somebody else is going to drop, and I think you'll make the playoffs. But I'm rooting for the Trees on this one. Then we got Lotus Flower Bomb going against the Bound Crushers. Oh, what's my personal favorite? It's the Bound Crushers. And to be honest with you, I think that the Bound Crushers, they're going to crush the Bounds this week. And Lotus Flower Bomb, you are not going to take the victory this week. I don't see it happening. I just don't. After the demise of you last week, I think this is your time to go down and my time to rise. So that's what I'm seeing. Then after that, we got none other than the Funky Comadines going against none other than the undefeated Dirty Sanchez. And to be completely honest with you, I'm going with the undefeated Dirty Sanchez to win this one because she's fucking 8-0. Give me a break already. How can you not root? How can you root? I mean, we're all rooting against her, but the point is how can you pick against her? She's constantly winning. We pick against her, she wins. We choose her, she wins. It's like there's no way of beating it, but we have to pick her. She's going to be 9-0. I mean, you lost Brady, and you lost too much this week. The Funky Comedies, you're not going to get funky this week. You're going to get slaughtered. Really bad slaughter, I say that. Moving on to the next one. Gonna lay that ass. Going against the Replacements. And to be honest with you, I'm going with the replacements this week. The fact is, though, if I do take a victory and Lena loses, I'm okay in moving up a little more. Lena wins, I win, we're still fucking tied. And I just don't want the tie no more. I need to break away from this, and I need to shoot up to the top. That is tough in hell, but I think the replacements are going to take it this week. So let's recap on this. We got other than the Heffenators going against the Coney Islands Friends, going with the Heffenators. Ryan Leafs come back in the trees. I'm going with the hot hand right now. I'm going with the trees. Lotus Flaubbaum in the Bound Crushers. He didn't crush my bounds, but he's going to crush your bounds this week. The Funky Comedians and the undefeated Dirty Sanchez. Going with who? The undefeated Dirty Sanchez on that one. Lay that ass in the replacements. Replace that motherfucker. You're going to not lay that ass this week. And the replacements will take their victory, getting it 2. And you will be tied with the Coney Island's Finest after I take him out this week as well. I'll be back next week for the Week 9 recap and award show. And, of course, Week 10 predictions.